Cinemavino. It's good to have you guys with us. We are continuing our Halloween series. We've got Travis Budd,
hey,
Sean Jordan,
hi,
Taylor Owens, Boopy. My name's Todd Wofford.
Boopy.
It's good to have you guys here with us. So we are drinking Yellowstone bourbon, the pride of
Kentucky,
the pride of Kentucky. Yeah,
Pride of Kevin Costner.
exactly. This is 93 proof. 46.5% alcohol. So this one I think has a lot more of a smooth edge to it.
Yeah, it's smoother. It's spicier.
Yeah.
Did Kevin Costner, is he coming back to Yellowstone?
The rumors are he is, but I don't know.
Okay. So he got over his hissy fit. He went and made his movie. It made no money. And then he was like, well, you know what? Maybe I did have a
Is he
thing
doing?
going.
Did he do The Postman too?
He did do the post.
Okay, that's why. Yeah.
That was a humdinger.
Yeah.
Whatever he's got, it's on HBO. It's some Western, and it's a part 1.
Yeah. And it's like 3
It's just
hours
called
long.
Max now.
I don't hear
Just
people
Max.
clamoring for part 2.
Yeah.
Just saying.
It's like you got a lot of optimism there, buddy.
It's like the sequel to Drumline. I don't know. I didn't hear people clamoring for that.
I
But
think there was.
Hey, I liked Drumline.
I
Was it?
enjoyed that very much.
I think there was a third drum line.
Yeah. It's like Save the Last Dance.
straight
Like,
to
yeah.
VHS.
give me a part 2, please. But that's always a pet peeve of mine when you watch a movie and they like that, they clamor like no one's asking for a sequel and they make it.
They teased it.
Yeah,
Like
we're gonna.
Step Up 3.
Yeah, it's like they spend the whole movie setting up a sequel that no one's asking.
Step Up to the Streets.
It's annoying,
Yep.
So it's like watching those Fast and Furious movies where it's like, fuck you.
There's so many. There's another one.
Yeah, every movie I've seen, my thought
Keeps coming.
is like, stop making these movies.
One of the main actors died, and they were like, "All right, let's keep it going."
Yeah.
in his honor.
Yeah, well, and they've killed people in the series, like in the franchise, and brought them back.
Yeah.
It's obnoxious. It's like no more mercy.
Yeah,
But anyway, but yeah, Yellowstone's a great whiskey.
It is.
I enjoy it. It's very smooth. It's weird because it has a higher proof than the previous one that we did, the Irish whiskey, and it's smoother. I think it has a softer edge to it. So
It's good shit.
it has a darker color too.
it's about $40.
It's a little bit.
It's a nice price.
little bit more
price.
Is it more?
It's like
aged?
45.
Does it say how much aging it has?
I'm going to guess that this is probably not a specific age. It's probably going to be a mixture of different age barrels, but I could be wrong. I'm going to guess it's going to be a blended whiskey. So, but we can check that out.
It's a straight bourbon whiskey.
Yeah. So, Final Destination. So this was a taste pick.
This was.
So what pulled you toward this movie?
I think with Travis and one of the previous ones we talked about, I kind of wanted to watch it again. It was another film that I remember watching in high school, and again, knowing nothing about it going into it. And I just was like, kind of really liked it. Saw it in theaters, and I was like, wow, that's different from what I had seen.
Dollar Theater? Did you guys go to the Dollar Theater?
I think we paid full price.
Yeah, I think
This is a full price.
This was a big time movie when it came out.
Yeah.
This is what, 2000?
Yes.
Another one with a great trailer. That had a good trailer.
Great trailer. This one had like a cultural impact.
Yeah.
I feel like Final Destination still sticks around as like a whoa, can't do that after I saw Final Destination.
Yeah.
They made so many movies of it too.
Yeah.
Such a big franchise. So, this was released March 17th, 2000, St. Patrick's Day.
Oh.
So The Faculty was released on Christmas Day. This movie was released on St. Patrick's Day.
It's got a whole like Catholic theme going.
Wait, was Faculty 99?
98.
8. Yeah.
This grossed $113 million against a $25 million budget.
Wait,
And
say that again.
113 against 25.
That's a good margin.
Yeah. That's why they kept cranking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good spread.
So this spawned a franchise of at least 5 movies, and supposedly more are on the way.
Which nobody probably asked for.
The
As I went.
final destination.
Yeah, they just keep those coming. I guess that's a horror, like that's a trope about horror movies in general.
Yeah.
Is if they
Can I
make money, they'll keep making them.
The title of this film, and I was like, it's Final Destination. Okay, the beginning starts with an airplane. As they were going through, and somebody, I think there was, nobody said Final Destination, but there was a song about it. I think a better title for this would be Death's Design.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
There was
Something
not
else,
an
I was
airplane
like-
in this movie.
Mm-hmm.
What?
We're talking about Frank Langella again, Sigourney Weaver.
What?
What movie did you watch?
We're talking about Final Destination?
Final Destination starts out with a race car track.
You watched the wrong one, didn't you?
Speed Racer.
This is awesome.
Wait,
Yeah.
what movies did you guys watch?
The Final Destination with Devon Sawa.
And Ali Larder.
Mm-hmm. We'll let Sean explore that. We'll come back to it. So this has a.
You might be thinking of the third or fourth one, or they might have rebooted it and done like.
Did we watch the 5th Final Destination?
We watched the first one, the one in 2000, like the OG.
You're on Final Destination 5.
That's a photo.
So anyway,
This is awesome. I'm curious too.
This is the first one with Devon Sawa.
yeah,
Oh, sorry. Hold on. Let me.
His lips were very big in this film.
yeah, they were plump.
Yeah.
I noticed that. I started to do a sketch of him in my notes, but I abandoned that. So I may go back to that later and kind of zoom in and enhance.
What did I watch?
But yeah, you got Devon Sawa, Ali Larder. We're going to talk about what you watched.
Yeah.
No matter what you watched, we're going to review whatever you had.
Don't use my Chrome. That's my porn.
So
Fair enough.
yeah, you got Devon
Wash
Sawa.
your hands. Sorry.
I've got flushable wipes if you need.
Only if you touch my iPad.
Your dad described an iPad.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry.
Separate
What
iPad.
a strange coincidence. So yeah, Devon Sawa, Ali Larder, Sean William Scott, a.k.a. Stifler, Kerr Smith, and a horror movie icon, Tony Todd, who,
Yeah.
a.k.a. Candyman,
Yep.
appears in this movie as
For like 45 seconds.
Yeah.
He should have been longer.
Oh, he got a fat paycheck. for
Oh,
that.
yeah.
So
And I really thought he was going to be in it more. But anyway.
I did too. So yeah, he's he kind of does the Twilight Zone Stephen King thing of warning the kids from tampering death. He's like, oh, you better stay away. Don't mess with death, kids.
Kind of implying that I thought he was deaf.
I kind of
That's
too.
kind of what I thought.
They leave it ambiguous.
And I'm gonna put this out there. The vibe that I got watching this is like, is this where they got the idea for Lost? Like a bunch of people boarding a plane and like who are fated to survive the crash, and like now it's like, oh,
Well,
it's, you know,
And sorry, but like when you're watching some of the scenes, which I had kind of like, I'd done some research on this film. There is like a black smoke. Like there's a couple of shadows that you'll see, which is supposed to be like the dark death. It was like kind of coming through, like in the, like from the window in the bathroom. Like you see these little flashes, and I'm like, that's the black smoke.
Yeah.
So
From the
that's a good
window to
analogy.
the wall.
Yeah.
if there had been a Lions movie of like Stifler, we have to go back to the island.
Yeah.
I would give this a 10.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So as the movie begins, Alex, who's played by Devon Sawa, is about to board a flight to Paris with his high school French class, but he has a vision that the plane is going to crash upon takeoff. And he creates a scene while the plane's on the runway and gets removed from the flight, along with people who are in a scuffle with him, some teachers, some other classmates who get weirded out and get off the plane. And I'd be honest, if I was on a plane, somebody was screaming that it was going to crash or go down, I would be a little bit like freaked out because I don't like to fly anyway.
Yeah.
And so as a result, I've done a lot of research on plane crashes because it puts me at ease. I know, like when we get on the plane, my wife can tell you, like, I know the safety stats of the plane, like how often it's had trouble.
I want this on record, on film. Todd gave me drugs when we were going on his bachelor party.
Yeah, Trav had some of my Xanax and he started blathering about Ted Cruz.
Ted Cruz singing Onward, Christian Soldier.
Yeah, which makes it less weird.
And I think I giggled for about 45 minutes.
Shoulders heaving, like,
Yeah.
So I forgot what I was going to say because of that. Oh yeah, one thing I will throw out there, and I mentioned this in my review. It's one of those things that kind of irks me about like movies that disregard like the laws of physics or whatever. It's like whenever a plane is like this depressurized, people don't continuously keep getting sucked out of it. Like the pressure equals whatever it is outside. So you may see somebody initially get sucked out of the plane, but then it normalizes.
Yeah.
That's one of many like errors in whatever.
Misconceptions.
Yeah. So there's a lot of those that pop up in this movie. Like, for example, when you encounter somebody who's been stabbed, the worst thing you can ever do is pull whatever weapon is
Right out. Yeah.
Yeah. There's like a ton of those.
Unless you're the one stabbing them.
That's true.
Yeah. Yeah. If you are the serial killer, then you keep right on going. But yeah. So if anybody's ever been impaled or injured, don't pull the thing out of them. Leave it.
Don't pull out.
Yeah.
That's what you're saying.
That's my credo.
That's the advice. Don't you do it.
Don't
So-
you have twins?
I do.
Okay.
So afterwards, the Alex, who everybody gets freaked out by because he had the premonition, he's investigating by these two goober FBI guys throughout the movie, figures out that these guys, these survivors, cheated death And now Death is coming to get revenge and to make sure that their destiny gets fulfilled by killing them off one at a time in the order that they were supposed to die. And we can get to the whole 9/11 thing, which again, this movie predates 9/11, but it weirdly like points toward 9/11 because there were famous people who were supposed to be on those planes.
Mark Wahlberg,
Seth MacFarlane. Yeah. There's some people who were supposed to be.
would have been really different if he was on the plane. His words, not mine.
Wait, who?
Mark Wahlberg, he's literally been like, I was supposed to be on that plane. Would have been a lot different if I was.
No. Say hi to your mother for me. But yeah.
It's caught me off guard. But I know you're talking about it. Just caught me off guard.
9/11 did a number on him. Okay.
Wasn't there also James Woods or James Woods?
So he
was on one of the flights that was like a test,
a practice
or
run
whatever.
for it. Yeah. So yeah, he basically the rest of the movie is him trying to figure out Death's plan and how to cheat and to save his friends as best he can.
So I'll take a moment here and just say that I watched The Final Destination.
Oh,
which is the name of the fourth movie in the series.
yes.
Which I had seen before, so it did not at any point
Register. Yeah.
Yeah, at no point was I like, this isn't the right movie.
Yeah.
Have you seen the first one?
Yeah, not in a long time.
Okay.
You know what I have
It's
seen?
worth it.
I've seen the fourth one really recently.
Yeah.
So you can compare and contrast.
So Final Destination is different from The Final Destination.
The Bart.
I hate it when they do that.
The Final Destination is a 3D movie from 2009
Yeah.
that was fucking bad.
Is there
Just
a
saying
roller
3D.
coaster in that one?
There is.
No, I think that was 3, man.
3 or
Because
I think it was 3. 2 is the wood.
the log,
Yes.
and then
Logs on the back.
someone puts their
I remember that trailer.
yeah, and then someone puts their hand in the garbage disposal.
Yep.
that
And then
was
the switch
2.
like
yeah, that was 2. But it's like Saw.
so. Yeah, you guys review 1, and then I'll give you
Yeah.
a tight 5 on Final Destination 4.
Make it a tight 2.
I'm curious. I never seen it.
I never have either.
I only see. Yeah, I've only
Guess
seen
what?
2.
It's on streaming.
Yeah.
So I'm following.
Wait, did you rent it?
No.
Oh,
It's on Max.
Oh yeah, I had to rent Final Destination.
yeah,
It
that's
was-
on me.
Fuck you guys. I didn't.
It was fine. It was, if I had watched it yesterday, it would have been great. But because I watched it October 1st, time rolled over.
Are you sure? Are you sure it wasn't The Final Destination that was on streaming?
See, that's what I thought too.
Yeah.
Because we had a whole conversation about what movie was on streaming, and you guys were like, yeah, Final Destination, it's on Max. And I typed in Final Destination on Max. Guess which one popped up?
Yeah. Yeah.
The.
But they did that with the Predator movies. There was Predator, and then there's The Predator,
Yeah.
and there's Predators. They were trying to be fancy like Alien, and it
You
was-
got The Fast and The Furious? And
It's
Fast and Furious?
Yeah.
these
These motherfuckers.
These
fuckers with their
bastards.
naming convention.
When you have so many sequels that you have to throw in a V and you think you're special.
Yeah.
The Vin and the Diesel.
The Wolverine.
Okay, but there wasn't a movie just called Wolverine before.
Yeah. Probably not.
No.
But it's just a matter of time, though.
Just a matter of time.
So in this film, Death is never depicted as a stereotypical character with the scythe and the cloak and all that. He's more like a supernatural, like a smoke monster kind of a thing of intervening in people's lives. So, Tay, because this is your you control the board.
Circle against the square.
I'll take mediocre 2000 scary movie for 400.
Do. It's the Daily Double.
I was
Movie version.
okay with seeing this again. I think, like I said in the previous one, or previous podcast, it blows my mind that I saw this film based solely alone on a trailer. And it was like, that's all it was.
It's a good trailer.
Yeah, it was like, there's a trailer. It looked cool. I was like, oh, okay. I don't even know if because at the time none of the actors would have jumped out at us. Sean William Scott, because like, here's what's funny about that. Here's what's funny. Because American Pie came out the year before, but when you look at look at these films, I'm like, did they film Final Destination before? Because to me, it's like it's just total. He's playing like the little kind of nervous bitch boy in this one, but then Stifler, he's supposed to be like this quote unquote tough guy.
Yeah.
So I'm like, man, did they film these flip-flopped, or is he just like, hey, look, I'm not Stifler. I can do other roles.
He's got depth.
Yeah, well, there was American Pie. I can't remember.
99.
99. Yeah, so I was like, wow, what 2 different roles for so close.
It's got to be him going for something different.
Yeah, that's the only thing I could think of.
Bulletproof Monk.
Yeah,
He's an actor.
but I liked this film a lot when I saw it. I remember seeing it in theaters and being like, damn, that was pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
I liked the writing. It was just an entertaining film that I could watch, but also laugh at. That's kind of what I did this time around, where like I knew it was going to happen. So there are some all the death scenes. I knew it was going to happen, and I was just like, oh yeah. And I was like, man, that's kind of funny. And one thing I kind of forgot, like it was the suspense some of them kind of gave you, where like he's shaving his neck and you're like, oh shit. It's like, no, JK, not the neck.
Totally
like,
fake out.
Yeah, and then he's got that. I'm like, no, JK, no. It's like, basically, by the way, gratuitous dump scene.
Yeah.
And it was like when he drops his drawers.
A couple of them.
Yeah, I was just like, first of all, can you not just cut to the leak in the pipe? You know, I got to see this guy drop his drawers.
And go below the bowl.
And that was the second dump scene of the movie.
Yeah.
And I'm like, everyone just take it easy.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Well, the first dump scene was a double dumper.
it was a double-decker dump.
It was an overhead double dumper.
Yeah.
And Sean William Scott got locked in the bathroom. That was the reason. There was a lot of bathrooming in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You never get to see actors take a dump.
Yeah, it is refreshing.
Maybe not on the websites you go on.
showing their depth.
Yeah.
You never get to see Peter Parker like swinging through the city and all of a sudden go,
Shouldn't have had those tacos.
And you know all that swinging, especially when he's delivering pizzas, all that swinging around, he's going to get the bubble gut.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Gravity alone is
put a bow on your
force
bubble
everything
goose.
down.
Anyway, but it was good. I liked the film a lot. I thought they kept the story going on. I felt like just violently too long.
Yeah.
Whereas like,
How long was this movie?
it was an hour and a half.
It was
hour
shorter, yeah.
40, hour 40, maybe.
It was shorter
My
than
movie movie was 88 minutes.
Oh, well, that's, yeah. I think this like would be a precursor. You got to drop off 10 minutes for every sequel. It was like, yeah, they already know what's going on.
Yeah.
But
they get the premise.
yeah, but that was my thing on this one. The only negative thing was like, man, they were really going on, and the police officers that were chasing them down were kind of getting on my nerves. I'm like, oh my
They're
God.
cliches.
Yeah, it's a total cliches. I felt like it kept dragging.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, like we get it now. Like, and even I remember in theater still being like, at least I remember like being like, all right, let's keep moving. I'm into this, but we got to keep going. And then the random fucking scene at the very end, Sean, spoiler, where it's like, but where he's like in the cabin for like 25 seconds.
Yeah.
But they spent so much time like showing where he was, taping everything up, trying to be safe. And he was like, wait a minute, it's not me. And I'm like, why in the fuck did I just spend 20 minutes watching you in this fucking cabin? That was only my
tetanus. You almost got me.
That made me giggle.
What a great line.
He's like, that was great. He's like, tetanus. Well done.
But now I've got you.
Yeah.
I've got your number. You're not going to get me here.
So that part made me giggle.
Yeah.
The ending, I remember thinking to myself, we were just talking about this, I think maybe off camera, but it was like the ending was coming to an end. We were like, okay. And we were in suspense, and then boom, the dude, you know, all the shit starts going down, which by the way, it's kind of like Lost, where if you guys noticed that 180 was a thing, it was like, and that thing at that sign at the very end was like 801 or what? Yeah, it was like, anyway, so it was like, there was, everything was in there.
And 925
his birthday
something.
popped up.
Yeah. And it was, but, when swaying by that line, he was like, I just saved your life. Well, just skip me. It's like, well, who's next? And then it gave that ending. I'm like, well, did the other guy die? So it's like, it was telling you already, we're going to have a sequel.
Yeah.
Like, you're not going to know. And it's like, Jesus.
Yeah.
At least they're in France.
But I'll end it by saying I liked this film way more than I thought I would the second time around. And I think I had seen it once or twice, maybe on TV. Never. This is the first time I remember seeing it from like beginning to end.
Mhm.
And as a film, I don't know how I would call this just a scary movie. A thriller, maybe?
Yeah, I'd say thriller.
Suspense thriller.
Yeah.
I still give it a 7. I still really, really liked it. Give it a 7.
Nice.
Yep.
I actually give it a 7.5.
Oh.
I also really liked it the second time around. I had seen it on TV, but this was the first time since I had seen it in theaters that I've watched it from beginning to end. And honestly, I kept looking at the time. I was like, the first like 35, 36 minutes of this movie are fucking perfect. Like they set everything up very well. Like, of course it's campy, and they start out in the room with the kid, and he's all like, okay, yeah, I've got my trip tomorrow. And his dad's like, yeah, don't worry. You have your whole life in front of you. And he goes, you know, you're just like, all right, this is the foreboding.
Mm-hmm.
So there's some like pretty cringe moments there at the beginning, but the way they started out, the way they have his anxiety and him starting to notice like weird things and just like weird little coincidences, and the fact that they don't give you the full on like fucking Groundhog Day where it goes, the plane blows up, and then he wakes up and he's already on the plane. You don't have to walk through his like the entire 20 minutes of the movie again to get to that point, and him being like, this all seems the same. They just start right from there, and he's like, I gotta get off this bitch. And hold on, I do have
and to interrupt Travis, like adding the line, was it the jock boy when he had said something? It's like, I don't even know why you did that, man. I'm gonna live forever. And it's like, oh no. I was like, no.
For shame.
Yeah.
But yeah, the beginning of this was all great up until like, I think, you know, he finally gets home, and then he's like chilling, and actually even into the death of his first buddy, Todd. And there's so many nods in this to other like horror movies.
Yeah.
Like Todd Browning is the guy that did the original like Dracula movie in 1931. And the Devon Sawa's character's last name is Browning, and his best friend is Todd.
Travis?
Yeah.
Did you Google Easter eggs? Final Destination?
Huh.
No.
Did you?
I did.
Oh.
So all their last names are of like famous directors like Hitchcock.
Murnau?
Yeah, it's like they're all yeah. So it's like they put in like all these names are famous characters, directors.
Oh, did they? Who is Hitchcock? One of the people that
Billy Hitchcock.
Who was the
Billy was I think Sean William Dots.
Oh, nice. Well, shit, I need to look at it because I recognize Murnau and obviously Hitchcock. But
was there like a Tommy Spielberg in there too?
No, there was not. Yeah.
But yeah, the beginning was all damn near perfect up until like
I wish there were
what his best friend Todd dies, and then he's just like sitting back home on the couch, drinking, watching TV. He's like, this is fucking crazy, and he goes outside and sees the lightning. But the main thing in this movie is that, like, when you're watching it, like, I liked it better this time than I did the first. But I was like, man, the wind fucking hates these kids.
Oh, yeah.
Keeps blowing. It's like,
blustery.
I'm gonna
It's real windy.
kill all these motherfuckers. And also, the other thing is, it's the greatest, like, Rube Goldberg murder death trap ever.
Yeah.
It's just like, yeah, like if Pee Wee Herman were to design a room and just like rock like a ping pong ball down this thing, and it went all through and then killed somebody, like you mentioned Saw earlier, I was like, yeah, this is great. This is perfect. Also, I love that all the death scenes, you get quick, crazy, like out of nowhere death scenes, and then you get like the slow builds. So they have enough of the survivors to go through where, boom, you can have one hit by a bus, which scared the shit out of me in theaters, where she turns around, and then Sean William Scott, just like the railroad tie, like the underneath, just
Yeah.
chops his head off. I was like, holy shit.
That was fun to watch Stifler's head get cut off.
Yeah.
But I think my favorite death, besides the quick ones, was like I think the teacher, where she keeps, she's got a shard of a monitor in her like neck that she then takes out. She falls over. The fire starts. She tries to grab the thing, the washcloth, all of the steak knives. One of them falls on her. Dude comes in trying to save her. Everything's falling off the shelf, but he doesn't catch the chair that just bangs the knife further into her. It's just yeah. And then she explodes.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is
borderline elaborate.
I mean,
it's too much.
It reminds me of like the Galaxy Quest. I don't know if you guys have seen Galaxy Quest, but like where they transport the pig on the thing. It's like it transported inside out and it exploded.
But yeah, it kept using like the wind would waft stuff, or it would be fire or lightning or explosions from lightning or whatever.
Yeah.
But I had a couple of notes here. Let's see. Oh yeah, at the very end, Ali Larder. Oh, Taylor, like you were saying, where the Devon Sow was stuck in the cabin, and he's like, "Oh yeah, tetanus. I see, but you can't get me. I'm in here. I'm ready for you now." That's his version of the I know what you did last summer. They're like, "What are you waiting for?
Oh yeah,
Come and get me." But there was the Ali Larder at the very end where like the wire comes down, is all snapping, and she's like, "Oh my God, my dog. I'm sitting here holding this candle. I got to set it down." And you're like, "Oh, the candle's going to do something." She's like, "But before I save my dog, let me get on my coat." And she starts, I was like, "Yeah, no problem. Don't go get your dog, but put your coat on first."
Yeah.
And then see the
That's how
candle
people get
waft. And
hypothermia.
she's like, "The candle wafted. The wind is coming." Like, anyway, sure. Go get your coat. And she starts talking to Devon Sow, and I'm looking at it with subtitles, and she's calling him baby. She's like,
baby.
She's like,
Don't call me baby.
She's like, after the railroad thing, she's like, "Baby, calm down." I was like, "What?" It's like, they haven't kissed. They haven't held hands. They haven't even done like hand stuff under a blanket.
Yeah.
Like
that
what
we
the fuck is
know of.
That you know of.
That we've seen.
Because she feels him.
It's romantic.
He was looking at a penthouse.
Yeah. Oh, the other thing. That's true. February of 1997. I looked it up. I was going to do some more research. I didn't have time.
You gotta get to the catalogs, gotta
But it was
go back through the archives.
the cover said the people versus Larry Flint. So that Woody Harrelson, Courtney Love movie.
It all
already
ties
been
in.
out by then. But the other thing is, how the fuck? I tried to look this up. When Ali Larder gets with the other two survivors, she was like, "All right, I wanted to call you guys out here. We got to go find him." And then they drive right to where she's like, "He's going to be within a mile." Is it because she can sense him? Or did he say something about that particular beach that she sees him at?
Yeah.
Because I missed that part. I'm like, how the fuck did she drive 1 mile back and then come back and she walks 10 feet into the woods, and she's like, "Oh, there he is sitting on the sand, just like crying into the sea or the lake or whatever the fuck they're looking at." Anyway, the Tony Todd was great in this, just his little 45 seconds that he was in, because he's very ambiguous. He tells them Death's design. He gives them the rules for the film. And he was like, "Oh, if you don't want to cheat that motherfucker." And then he's like, "I'll be seeing you later." And you're like, wait, is he talking about like, "I'll be seeing you, I'm going to be coming after you guys to get you"? Or like he just thinks that they've escaped death somehow and that they're going to die and then they'll wind up on his slab? I think he winds up in the second movie though too.
He does.
And they call him the Mortician. And I'm like, man, he really should have been a bigger part of these films. I think it would have been interesting.
He's good at being creepy.
Yes.
And
he was a nod to the original Night of the Living Dead. Wait, no, the remake. Sorry, he was in the remake, but he was in Candyman. And at some point in there, like during one of the bus things where people are out doing stuff, somebody had one of those like hook hands grabbing fish.
Love a hook hand.
I give it a 7.5, and no bump for scariness or Halloween. It's
That's
still
firm
75.
75.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say for me, it's like it's weird. Like as a movie itself, I would rate it pretty low. If you put it as a disposable horror movie that you can just watch, again, there's an element to that of all the movies we're gonna do, where it's like you watch them, just have fun with them. Maybe you go back to them later, maybe you don't. But it's kind of a guilt-free zone.
Yeah.
This entire month, I say on that basis, I'd give it a 5. That'd be kind of where I would put it. Again, for me, not being a horror fan.
Yeah. This month is not. It's not your ballywick.
No. But I can see the fun of it. Like if you're just looking for something to put on and just get some good, like basic, like disposable scares out of. But also nostalgia. There's definitely a nostalgia factor to a lot of movies that we're going to watch. And so that has to be baked in as well. I mean, I can't speak to part 4, but I know that.
Oh, we'll get to part 4.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would give this a 5. Performances are pretty good. I liked Ali Larder's kind of the weird, kind of grief-stricken.
She still looks old in that one.
She had brown hair and bangs.
Mm-hmm. It's the haircut. It's like Famke Janssen, where it's like they take somebody who's good looking and give them an ugly haircut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So maybe that was the time. It was a different era.
I mean, it's you're just talking about my life at this point. Great looking. My hair ass.
But
Sorry.
I say I'm phenomenal looking. I just have bad hair.
it's okay.
I heard hairy.
Yeah, I heard that too.
Hairy
I heard
What?
I heard
I
something.
said
you
my
were talking
hair,
about
my hair is ass.
Oh, okay, here we go. I just heard it was like
My
hairy ass.
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's also what I heard.
I mean,
Like,
we all-
Sure, man.
I'm sure it's great, you know.
Delicious whiskey, I guess. That's a hell of a slur there you got there.
Yeah.
This is my hair.
Just my hairy ass.
just all three of us.
My hair is ass.
Okay. There we go. There we go.
Maybe choose a different descriptor.
I don't know.
Oh.
But I was ready to run with that. If you think that's your selling point, you go for it.
Man. I mean,
You're like, yeah, I mean, my hairy ass.
you and me
like,
both.
Yeah, I mean, I feel you.
Okay.
I'm sorry, Todd. It's your turn.
But yeah,
Let's change the subject.
yeah, I mean, definitely, a 5. You know.
Just solid 5.
You can have other thoughts too. You can say like a paragraph of words.
You know, I don't know. Yeah, it was fun. It was like maybe I wasn't in the right mood for it, of like seeing things like the plane crash and knowing like, you know, things that don't necessarily play.
You're already a plane phobe.
Yes. So that touches on a fear I have.
Oh yeah.
But I would say that like
And if anything means it's even more of a Halloween movie for you.
it is. Anything plane crash related could be a Halloween movie for me.
Can I talk about my movie now?
Okay, yeah, Sean.
All right. I watched The Final Destination.
Did you at least take? Were you in on like the buy-in for Final Destination? The beginning.
Yeah.
Were you before
Yeah.
Canery happened?
Yeah.
You were in with the buy. Okay.
I mean, I did think early on, it's like, this is a long time to watch 2 kids taking a shit in the airport bathroom. This is an extended sequence.
It was
talking about my search history.
It was a long scene to get to the dump scene. I totally forgot about that. It's like, hey man, come to the bathroom with me. He's like, or yeah, come take a shit with me. He's like, well, why am I doing that? And then he went on an elaborate reason why he should come shit with him. And I'm like, what is happening right now?
No guys talk that way. It's like their eyes would be watering on that airplane bathroom. It's like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Do you guys
No,
want
that
to?
sounds exactly like my.
You guys want to go take a shit?
Yes.
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, the first 20 minutes I thought were well done.
Yeah.
Set up.
The Final Destination, 2009.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful movie.
3D.
It is a soft reboot of Final Destination. So, I remember now in retrospect why I watched this in 2009. It was because it was, like I said, it was a soft reboot of Final Destination.
Yeah.
It was pretty much the same exact plot, except it takes place with a few different details on the original death. They are at a racetrack, and it literally, the movie just starts with just racetrack. That's it. There's no build up. There's no shitting scene. It's just racetrack. 4 people, college kids, young, attractive, very generic looking 2009 children, roughly like 20 to 23 ish.
Yeah.
Somewhere in that range. They're at a racetrack. There is it's not even NASCAR. It's just like some, I don't know, stock car races or something. And he's like, hey, yeah, like watching these for the crashes. That's the only reason I come here. And he's like, you only come here for the crashes? He's like, that's the only reason to go. And then basically the main character gets all of a sudden sees, or there's the whole, like, everybody dies. And then right back to him, like right at the beginning, right before all of those moments happen that trigger him to say, like, oh my God, I know this was happening. I'm getting a really bad feeling about this. We got to leave. The big twist on this movie is it was right around 2009 when they were revitalizing 3D.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you remember this. Avatar came out and it kind of like brought 3D back into the mainstream because it happened the first time in the 80s.
The zeitgeist, if you will.
It came back into the zeitgeist. One of my favorite horror movies is Friday the 13th Part 3, where there's the whole part where he's like, Friday the 13th Part 3, 3D. And there's like a whoa with a broomstick.
Mm-hmm.
This has the exact same stuff, but it's like, oh, giant broken piece of the bench is sticking up in the air and you see it. And then someone's head slams down on it and they die.
Yeah.
Tons of that. Just like coin, flipping a coin up in the air. You see the coin flip the entire way. Fucking terrible movie.
Yeah.
It is, I think, 82 minutes. You feel all 82 minutes of that movie.
Yeah.
I literally texted this group. I was like, man, you know what I love about horror movies? They don't have to be 90 minutes and that's fine.
Yeah.
And then by the end of that movie, I was like, that is the longest 82-minute movie I've ever fucking seen.
Yeah.
I give it a 4.
Okay.
Okay.
Four for a 4.
Yeah, for a 4.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
That's a pretty good deal at Arby's too.
That's not a bad deal. Horsey sauce?
So talk about flavyr.com. We're doing whiskeys this month and see how we're doing Yellowstone bourbon. But yeah, go to flavyr.com/Cinemavino. Pick out what whiskeys you like and use promo code Cinemavino10. That's a 10. You get $10 off for every $100 purchase or more. So pretty good deal.
It's not bad.
Head that way and we'll post links on the website and on our podcast links and on YouTube. So check them out. And it's good stuff. It's a good deal.
It's a good deal.
So it's been another episode of Cinemavino.
It has.
Got
Sure
Sean
has.
Jordan,
Yeah.
Taylor Owens, TB, Travis Budd. My name's Todd Wofford. Great movies, only much drunker. And we will see you guys next time.
Peace.
Bye.